My name is Morgan von Prelle Pecelli. I'm the Director of Development here at Performance Space 122. Our fearless artistic director can't be here with us tonight, and so I'm going to pretend I'm going to be a simulacra of Vallejo Gantner right now. And I promise it's short, it's just really big font. But I'm going to read a little thing that he wrote to all of you.
Read it big.
Read it big?
With an Australian accent.
Yeah, I know Australian. Good evening. I wish I could be there with you tonight. I am in Australia at the Performing Arts Market, a biennial event at which Performance Space 122 is a key representative of the U.S. contemporary theater, dance, and performance scene. Many of you will be returning from a foray in the formidable land of Radiohole. Radiohole is a place I first encountered in 2002 with a little piece called Wurst, which was an anarchic, wonderful chaos. I became a fan for life. For me, they embodied so much about New York City, an overload of media, ideas, food, beer, and some manner of living that relished the intense urbanity in which we exist here. This evening celebrates their achievement and the Spalding Award, which has brought them here. In its spirit, the award honors Spalding Gray, who for so many years was an incredible force in American theater and at PS 122. In its execution, the award honors the next generation of theater makers who, like him, venture bravely forth into new forms and who seek to redefine the possibilities of text and writing in performance. Artists who do not work within any single genre, but seek to create radically new ones. This particular Radiohole Spalding Award show was co-produced with Kathleen Russo, the Walker Art Center in Minneapolis, UCLA Live in Los Angeles, and the Andy Warhol Museum in Pittsburgh. I'm delighted to tell you this evening, Vallejo is delighted to tell you this evening, that we'll be announcing the next Spalding winner at the Walker in Minneapolis on March 18th this year, and that we have a new co-producer to add to the list, our dear friends in Seattle on the boards.
It's the night of people who can't be here. So I'm one of the cast members in Spalding Gray Stories Left to Tell, which was put together by Kathy Russo and Lucy Sexton, and we continue to tour around now with Carmelita, and so that's why I get anointed to do this. So the last time that I saw Spalding Gray perform was in that room, the room that we have all many of us just left. It was a benefit for PS 122. Mark Russell called me. I was to do a show later that year. The speaker's in a weird place. And he called me and said, come do a preview. And I had to say the thing that no one ever wants to say to a presenter, which is, there isn't anything to show. I haven't written a word. I have nothing. There is no show. And he said, oh, come on, just put something together. And I said, oh, okay. And I wrote a 6-page monologue about what the show would be when I wrote it and why it would be that. And I came and rehearsed it in the afternoon. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was going to be okay. And I came back to do the show and discovered that the second person on the bill was Spalding Gray. So I was going to do a 6-page monologue in front of Spalding Gray, which seemed to be the worst thing that could possibly happen. I went first, luckily, and it went over fine, and I was standing by the exit, and Spalding went second. It was after the accident. He was not in great shape. He was, however, still fearless as a performer, putting himself out there even in that condition, and making it work even in that condition, and the audience was as determined as he was, which is something that happened here. He finished, the third person went, they're gone from my mind, and Carmelita was emceeing, and I stood by the door and watched. He and Kathy were against the wall, they were watching, I was by the exit. The third person finished, and Kathy and Spalding started to make their exit, and I started to move out of the way so they could get past me. And Spalding reached out his hand and said, that was great. And I thought I had been officially anointed. The thing that I think is great about this award is that it preserves the memory of an artist without archiving them in some dead way, but connecting them, in fact, to the living theater that is still occurring in that room. and perhaps making a post-mortal dialogue between those two aesthetics. So here is to all of these artists.
This is the last person, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll keep this very brief. I'm Steve Warnick, the executive director. My congratulations to Radiohole, and my congratulations to Tom and Lucy. If you have not seen this piece, I urge you to come back and see it. It is a really wonderful thing to see and experience. Thank you all for coming. This year we have made extra efforts to make these sorts of events happen on a fairly regular basis. And I want to thank so many board members are here this evening. Thank you for coming and bringing your friends. Every time we do one of these things, they become more well attended and more fun and interesting. Thank you. And finally, you probably had a little flyer on your seat about Friends with Benefits, our giving program, and I would ask you to, if you have not, to consider becoming one of our friends. You can do so online. And please come back as many times as you possibly can. Thank you.
Hi, my name is David. People call me Newbie, and I'm here for a series of educational videos. As you've seen in episode 5, when we were comparing penguins to icebergs, this is much like Antarctica, but because of the outdoors. There's snow, there's weird-looking people who follow you around, not unlike the classic penguin. Or, for example, the Gentoo penguin.